doesn't really use that much programming. It's more sort of a more clever idea of how to solve it simply, rather than trying to think too complex. It's more, sometimes you can solve problems just by thinking about something a bit more simply. I've come from a sort of JavaScript background as well as my design background. So what I'm trying to do now is sort of marry the two. And I think if you look at what people are talking about at this conference as well, there's quite a few people doing object-oriented type talks. So it's obviously the big thing. And I've come up with this word applications, which is like applications built in Flash. And also at the time there was a lot of people doing like 3D in Flash, which is, is fine, but to me it's not really what it's about. A lot of the 3D stuff is very passive, and it might as well be on a TV or in the cinema, where Flash to me is all about user interaction and getting the user to work with it. So that's why I did the Psycho thing as a sort of backlash against all that 3D stuff and overfaluted navigation as well. I first got into Flash I was working as a web designer for Subnet since I joined in '96. Before that, in like '95, I got into the web and wanted to know, like anything I get into, I have to know how it works really. When I was a kid, I was like pulling radios apart and then not putting them back together and stuff. So it's this same sort of ethos really why I got into the web. I wanted to know how it was done and stuff. And then when Flash came along, it seemed to me like you had the advantage of being small file sizes and stuff, and coupled with that, this user interaction, it's all embedded in the file, and the people were talking about Java and stuff, how that was going to be great, but really you couldn't embed fonts, and a lot of the files were pulled in outside of the Java app and stuff, where Flash is all self-contained, and if it plays right on your machine, then 99% of the time it's going to look the same as someone else's, no matter what they're viewing it on. Sol Bass and everything has been an inspiration to me, and all his work and stuff, which is very Flash-like anyway. So really, when I saw Flash, I thought, if Sol Bass was alive today, he'd probably be working in Flash and stuff and doing some amazing stuff. So really, that's why I got into it, because it's, it's got an advantage when you're dealing with like 2D stuff and that. I mean, I know a lot of people doing 3D stuff now, but to me, it's you can do some really great sort of flat 2D stuff. If you really are a designer who's into design, it really comes to the fore. The whole Flash thing, you can really push it, and all the interaction and stuff is cool. And of course, all the programming side and the action scripting side is just going to grow and grow and grow, and you can now bring in external scripts, so people are going to find it easier to swap scripts around the web and stuff, rather than just swapping FLAs. So there's going to be libraries of code, I'm sure, that you'll be able to use and stuff. So I can't see live motion from Adobe making any inroads as such, because it's quite lacking in the scripting. Well, it's got none. So live motion at the moment is just basically After Effects for the web, and it's the one problem with it is that people are going to be doing big fat Flash files, and it could give Flash a bit of a bad name, to be honest, if we're not careful. And some people are doing that already with like really big 1 meg Flash files. So we need to sort of keep tabs on keeping the file size down. Everyone's talking about broadband, but it ain't here yet, and but people are still doing like 1.5 meg movies and saying this is the future of Flash, and I say, no way, it's not. That's not what it's about. I get inspiration from everything, see, from like the Nokia phone interface to anything. From I see bad interface design everywhere as well. Like my cooker at home was like, it's just ridiculously bad, because the way they've designed it is like all the knobs are on one side and they don't relate to the actual hobs, and that's user interface as well. I've had this cooker like a year and I still don't know which control controls what, and so that's like bad interface design right there. So that inspires me as well. I'm probably going to do greatcookerdesign.com or something. Information design, map design, all those sort of things help when you're trying to do user interfaces and stuff. and signage, even, anything like that. It's anything that's visual, can be an inspiration to you as a designer. So basically I try and make a note of a lot of things I see and stuff, and write notes down in sketchbooks and stuff, and then even just like keywords and stuff, and then come back to them later on. If I've inspired some people to do some new stuff, then, and think of in Flash, think of Flash in a different way, then that would be, that would be cool for me. It's like, I'll get a real high from that. It's a new medium, it's not like cinema or TV. It's got something that they haven't got, which is interaction, and that's how you should be thinking, really. It's like, you got to involve the user in some way. That's what it's all about. And if you're just going to do a motion graphics piece, which is good in itself, but if that's all you're going to do, then it's probably not the total sum of what you should be doing with Flash, really, I don't think.